Okay, so here's the next part of the 3 meals out of 1chicken videos. We've taken some of the breast. I've taken the fillets off of the back of the breast to save for the soup. So here we've got it just chopped up, cut it in half and then chopped it. I've got some wraps, got some grated cheese, I've got some onion, some chopped pepper, and the sauce that we saved back from the chicken yesterday, the pasta. Normally with a burrito and that you would put some salad and lots of other things, but we're keeping to a really strict budget here, so we're not going to put that in. We are going to add some rice, which I'll show you how we cook in a second. But okay, so let's get on with some cooking. Okay, so to cook rice, I'm using a rice that's had the starch washed out of it. It's a Basmati rice, so I don't need to wash it to get rid of the starch. Always when you cook rice, I mean, if you've got a rice cooker, fine, go ahead, do whatever it says. If you've got a pot, take 2 measures, whatever size you want to do. If I'm doing for a whole meal, I use half a cup per person, but it's not. We're just putting some in a burrito. So 2 measures and then 3 of water. So whether that be a cup or a mug or whatever, always remember 2 and 3 water. Also into there, we're going to pop a little bit of chicken powder, good pinch of salt, and a little pepper. You don't have to put the pepper, I like it. Okay, then we just literally measure very precisely 3 scoops of water. 1, 2, 3. There you didn't know I could count, huh? And what we do is we bring it to the boil. Once it boils, turn it down to its lowest setting and just let that water soak into the rice. Don't lift the lid, just leave it simmering. If you do it exactly that way, you will always get perfect rice. Right, while the rice is cooking, we're going to make a move on the chicken for it. I forgot to say also, we're going to use a spoonful of the natural yoghurt that we had from the other day. Again, optional. If you haven't got it, you haven't got it. The big tub though is about £1. It goes a long way. You can use it for lots of different things. We used it on top of the soup the other day, but you can make dips and all that with it. So get your pan hot. Use whatever oil you've got. Look, olive oil is better. I'm using a vegetable oil, it's a lot cheaper. Now don't forget, there's a lot of things you could add to these to make them really authentic, but we're not doing that, we're sticking with a budget. So there will be some optional bits, like this. These are just some crushed, or half crushed cumin seeds. If you haven't got them, don't use them. But they just give a little bit of depth of flavour. So drop those in if you've got them, let them pop a bit. There we go, now we're going to put our chicken in. Now don't move it straight away, let it start to just seal and sear underneath. Okay, that's had a chance to sear underneath, so we're just going to start to move it around, let it cook thoroughly. The rice is boiling now, so we'll turn that down to its lowest level. Now we've got a little bit of seasoning in the sauce, but because you're adding a lot more ingredients, we're just going to add a little bit more seasoning. Just some salt. I'm going to add some chili sauce in a bit. You don't need to. If you don't want to, you can add pepper instead. So we'll just let that cook a few minutes. Now it's cooked for about a minute or so. We're going to add the onions. Just a sliced onion. We don't want to cook these thoroughly, we want a little bit of bite left in them. So, there we go. And the chopped peppers, sliced peppers. Again, these were very reasonably priced from Lidl's the other day. It was a big mixed bag for about £1, I think. While we're talking of pennies, the wraps we're going to use are just a supermarket wrap, the basic ones, not a fancy one. They work out about 10 pence each, which sounds expensive, but when you think that that's a meal, it's not really. There's 8 in a packet usually, and there's lots of other things you can do with them. So take them out, don't leave them lying around, wrap them up, put them in the freezer, they're good for a month or so. And you can use lots of other things. I just thought of a nice snack I'll show you in another video using the leftover ones. Okay, so these are starting to soften up. Now the sauce we took from the chicken pasta, we'll throw in there. Take out that bay leaf. Now, like everything, you have to remember food safety. So that sauce had chicken cooking in it. So it must boil fully. We're going to boil it and reduce it down a bit. But it's really important you don't just put it in and warm it. So we're just going to cook and reduce that for a couple of minutes. Now that's halfway reduced. I'm just going to add some Sriracha now. Just to get some chili going in it. I love a bit of chili, you don't have to. I'm using a green Sriracha, you can use a red Sriracha or anything spicy. And as I say, if you don't like it, don't use it. But it really does cheer it up a bit. Okay, so the rice is nice and fluffy cooked. There you go. Always use the method I said with those exact measurements, it'll always come out good. This is nicely reduced now. So I'm going to just pop this pan on to warm the tortilla and then we'll build them. Okay, time to build. Now don't forget, as I said, this is a budget exercise, so whilst you could put avocado and salad and lots of wonderful things in there, which are all really good, we're not going to, we're going to keep it nice and cheap. So, don't overfill your wrap or you'll never get it to close nicely. So, some nice rice. Because we put the stock and the seasoning in the rice, you can actually just eat the rice as it is or drop a piece of butter on it. It's really nice. Okay, so some rice. Some of the lovely spicy chicken mixture. You've probably got enough chicken out of that one chicken to do about 6-7 wraps. But you know, you haven't got to use it all. On top of that, we're going to put some cheese. Just a little bit of cheddar, it's nothing fancy. Again, on the budget front, what I do is I buy a big block of cheddar from Iceland, and it works out about 1/10 of the price of buying it. And then I wrap it up and freeze it in blocks. It comes out a little crumbly, but it's safe. Okay, so you've got those. Now, to wrap it, lift, fold one corner, hold it, use your fingers to lift it, and then push it all the way in. And there you have your burrito. To make it like a shop bought one, take a piece of tin foil, wrap it up, just roll it, and then you can just keep them warm in the oven if you like. You can seal them on the stove, or you can just let someone take it, peel it, or I'll show you this so you can see what's inside. We'll just cut it in half. And you can see that's what your burrito is, your chicken and your meat and everything. That's a really good meal. A really big guy could maybe eat 2 of those, but most people 1 will be enough for a meal. Give it a try. Enjoy.